Well, the mainstream media was in mass hysterics last night after President-elect Donald Trump accepted a congratulatory phone call from the president of Taiwan. The left now claiming that Mr. Trump has upset decades of diplomacy. So was he in the wrong for answering the phone, or just another overreaction by the media?
Former U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations, John Bolton, met with Mr. Trump just yesterday, and he joins us on the couch now. So first, off the top, we got to ask how the meeting went yesterday, sir.
Well, it was a very serious meeting, and I've just said all I'm going to say about it. I actually think that, you know, a president-elect ought to be able to talk to people in confidence. I think it's related to the doctrine of executive privilege, which is very important in presidential decision-making. And, you know, if they want to reveal what happened, I think it's up to them. It's not up to me.
But if asked, you would take that position?
Well, I would take that position.
I think you can admit that.
The apple cart, though, seemed like it was upended last night, if you read all the headlines that were coming out, that Donald Trump accepting this phone call from the president of Taiwan, congratulating him on becoming president, could upset decades of diplomacy between the United States and China. What do you make of that phone call? Should he have accepted it?
Well, it's ridiculous to think that the phone call upsets decades of anything. But I do think it's important that people understand the President of the United States should talk to whomever he wants if he thinks it's in the interest of the United States. And nobody in Beijing gets to dictate who we talk to. My view has been for some time that we should be upgrading our relations with Taiwan. And I know that's going to cause heartburn in Beijing, but it's a reality. This is a nation of over 20 million people. They have a democratic government, a free press, a free market. They meet all the customary international law definitions of statehood. So when a democratically elected leader calls the President of the United States, I say, you bet he takes the call.
Absolutely. Why then, why the hysteria then? Why the mainstream media and the left saying, what, you know, he's shaking up an entire relationship? They react that way reflexively with him.
Yeah, honestly, I think we should shake this relationship up. For the past several years, China has made aggressive, I would say, near belligerent claims in the South China Sea. They've declared it to be a Chinese province. They've established a provincial capital. And what that means is they're taking a vast amount of water out of being international waters, or waters where there's a right of innocent passage, and making it into Chinese territorial waters. They're trying to put their hands around the throats of the economies of Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, and others. It has a direct impact on the United States. They also think Taiwan's a province. So you want to talk about provinces, China? We'll talk.
Yeah, and why this is so sensitive, though, is because China is our #1 trading partner in the world. So on that point, where do you stand on the TPP? Because obviously that's a big one for Mr. Trump. Is it such a bad thing to increase trade with our Asia partners?
Well, he said that he's going to pull the plug on TPP at the beginning. I have to say, not having been involved in it at all, even back in the Bush administration, the advantage of TPP as it was sold at the beginning was strategic, that this was an alternative to increasing Chinese influence in the region. And yet TPP, as I read it, as negotiated, is just another managed trade agreement. Donald Trump said repeatedly during the campaign he believed in free trade. The problem with a lot of these agreements that have been the subject of this criticism is, well, number one, they're not free trade. And number two, it is accurate to say that many other countries violate the commitments they make under these treaties, and we don't do anything about it. I think it's important in the Pacific. We do have a strategic alternative to China. I think we can provide that. I think Donald Trump has made that clear in the campaign, too. So I think there's a lot that we can be doing.
Ambassador Bolton, great to see you this morning, as always.
Glad to be here.
Good luck, indeed.
So
thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
All right.